is always posing questions, and science is always in pursuit of answers.
A Moment of Science offers many of those answers in a timely moment of entertainment and enlightenment.
We hope you'll tune in.
For more information about A Moment of Science or to download our latest podcasts, visit us at amomentofscience.org.
Listen weekday afternoons at 5:45 on KSJE.
Sure, the 90-Second Naturalist is all about animals and plants, but it's also about us humans. After all, what creature is more amazing? We're the most creative and destructive, intelligent and foolish, loving and hateful beings on Earth. And we've come to have a significant effect, good or bad, on everything we touch. I'm Thane Maynard. Tune into the 90-Second Naturalist and find out how we're interacting with the natural world today.
Listen every weekday afternoon during the KSJE Evening News at 5:30.
Hi, I'm Yael Cassander.
And I'm Don Glass.
And we host A Moment of Science.
For more than 20 years, A Moment of Science has been taking an entertaining look at the science behind some of life's most perplexing questions.
In just 2 minutes, you get a look at the fascinating world around us and beyond.
We hope you'll tune in.
For more information about A Moment of Science or to download our latest podcasts, visit us at amomentofscience.org.
Listen weekday afternoons at 5:45 on KSJE. This program is supported by San Juan Health Partners Urology, providing a wide range of personalized services for the whole family, including children. Our caring professionals are dedicated to helping meet your urology health needs with skill, experience, and service you need. For a complete listing of our services and to learn more, visit sanjuanhealthpartners.com or call 505-609-6300. San Juan Health Partners Urology, a division of San Juan Regional Medical Center. 8:30 on KSJE. You're listening to the Scott Michlin Morning Program. Once again, good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks to our viewers who are watching us this morning on the KSJE Facebook page and YouTube channel. Those of you who are watching are seeing a picture from beautiful Midtown Ruidoso, New Mexico, where the temperature at the moment is 24 degrees, sunshine as you can see, and the great Sierra Blanca peak in the background. Today's high in Ruidoso will be 47, by the way. Here in Farmington, it is 23 degrees outside our studios at San Juan College, and we're expecting a high today of 49 degrees with lots of sunshine. Clear skies tonight with a low of 23, then partly sunny skies tomorrow, the high mid-40s. Also mid-40s on Wednesday, but then again, highs near 50 for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Maybe a chance of showers and snow showers on Saturday and Saturday night. We'll have to see how that goes as we get a little bit closer to the weekend. I'm Scott Michlin. My guest here on the radio this morning, we are talking about the big idea here at San Juan College. Judy Castleberry is here from the San Juan College Enterprise Center and the Quality Center for Business. Once again, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you here.
Good to be here.
Thank you for being with us and all of our shiny things that are going on around you this morning.
I love all your shiny things.
Do you?
I like
well,
shiny
good. You've got shiny things too, which is what we're talking about.
Things.
Right?
Yes, yes.
Your brand new makerspace, which is called The Big Idea, and it will be grand opening next week, February 5th.
February 5th, that's Tuesday afternoon. We're having an open house from 3:30 till 5. At 4 o'clock, the board of San Juan College and the Redcoats will be there to do the official ribbon cutting. So we're really excited to have everybody come and just see our shiny new toys.
Right.
It's an amazing space. People really need to just come see it.
We've been talking about it this morning, and of course, it's a big change for, I think, a lot of people's thought process of how we make things these days and what's available to be made without having to have it shipped in from some other bigger place.
Well, exactly. I think we've always envisioned manufacturing as this big factory with all those people at looms or whatever.
Right.
I had some aunts who worked in cotton factories in the South, and
Okay,
I always envisioned these huge looms. But the truth of the matter is, as manufacturing has changed over the years, we're doing things that are computer assisted. We are doing things, people are afraid of robots. Well, quite honestly, there's robots every place. You just don't realize it because they don't look like, the George Jetson ones. And so we're moving toward everything being more automated. And that's one of the things you will learn by coming to the makerspace and using our shiny toys is how to do that modeling on a computer so that when you put it into, whether it be the CNC router table, which is another cool toy.
Right, I want to ask you about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
and the, or the laser cutter, whatever, you already know what it's going to look like on the screen. And
Right.
you're not physically chiseling things out or whatever.
Right, the computer does it.
The computer does it.
And it does it probably a lot better than I could do it.
Much smoother than I could do it, believe
Yeah,
me.
and-
I'm not a good DIY person.
Right, and so that's what we're talking about. But for anybody that wants to maybe get a job in some of these other industries, I mean, this is where manufacturing is going, if it hasn't gone there already, is my point, right?
Well, exactly. It's funny. I use my son a lot as an example because
I'm sure he loves that.
I know. He lives in California, so
Okay,
he doesn't
well,
hear his mother talk about
fair
it.
game.
But when this is the kind of space my son would have loved as a kid, because he was always tinkering with things. I remember him taking apart everything in my house. So I could have sent him to a makerspace and he could have taken things apart there.
There, right.
But when Adam grew up, he went to New Mexico Tech, got a degree in engineering, and now he works in robotics. And see, the thing is, if we don't think about the Adams of the world and help them learn right here in San Juan County how to do these advanced things, they're not going to be ready to compete in the next job market. And I really do think at the core, this is a very much about that thought process.
Right. But we see it in almost every industry. I think we're maybe familiar with the robotics in the car industry, the automobile
Right.
industry, and seeing those assembly lines and the big robotic arms kind of going around.
Right.
But that's now moved into other even smaller lines of business as well. We were talking about sewing before and clothing and those big looms that are no longer manned by hordes and hordes of people.
No.
It's all computers.
Well, exactly. And so, again, in this space, the laser cutter is, to me, just a really cool example. So you take your piece of acrylic or your leather or, whatever it is you're wanting to cut, and you do the design on the screen, and then it cuts it. You're not touching it. It's totally safe. It's in an enclosed space. You can stand there and watch it, which, frankly, I like watching laser cutters. They're kind of fun to just observe.
Right.
But that's the difference. It's not you using the tool, it's the tool doing it by itself.
After you've programmed the tool of what you want it to do. And sometimes these things are pretty quick, too, much faster than what a human could do.
Well, exactly. And much like you just said, cleaner.
Yeah.
Because as a human, we're going to burp or jump or, whatever, and we're going to make a little
oops that we'll have to fix later.
This is very smooth, it's very clean. And it just produces such nice, and every single piece is exactly the same.
So let me ask you a bit about the equipment that you have in this new makerspace, Judy Castleberry, and how it might relate to other business owners or entrepreneurs in the community, which is really your audience, I would think.
Yeah, definitely. So again, we all focus on the 3D printers, so I have to mention them first.
Right.
But quite honestly, say you are, you have a small business, you need a certain widget to make your thing work better, we can help you with making that little widget on the 3D printer. Now, the thing about a 3D printer is when they're limited on size.
Right.
So it's fairly small scale or it's cut into pieces. But the other issue is that they're slow. They're incredibly slow. I think people don't realize how slow a 3D printer is. But the other thing, so that kind of takes 3D printers, and we've already talked a little bit about the 3D scanner we have.
Right.
But let's go over into the industrial area for a moment. Our larger bay is full of industrial type equipment. So we have this router table.
Okay.
And what you do with the router table is, again, you want to do, say, a really elaborate fancy tabletop, or say a panel for something that you're going to, do decorative. Mm-hmm. So again, you do your design, you lay it out flat, in the computer, and then you put in like a piece of plywood, and it routes out the design. Well, it exposes those underneath layers, and so this could be something that could either be decorative or could be, useful. I mean, maybe it's a way of developing some kind of a table for a specific type,
right,
for certain use. So,
and wood is something that could be used. Could it use other materials too?
Yeah.
Can it use other things too, or just wood?
That's primarily wood, possibly some acrylic.
Okay.
We also have a burn table for the metal, kind of the same kind of a thing.
Gotcha.
We've got, again, the CNC machine, which works with metal. So if you go kind of by type of material, we have things you can work on with wood, things you can work on with metal,
Right.
things you can work on with different filaments in those 3D printers, vinyl that can either be, sticky back so you can put it on walls or on your car.
Right. We were talking before we came on the
yeah.
air this morning. You can do vehicle wraps.
You can do vehicle wraps. I can't wait till somebody actually does one.
Right. But I mean, if I'm a business owner and I would like to wrap a vehicle, or maybe I need a new updated wrap on with my logo or something like that on my delivery van or what have you, this is what we're talking about.
Exactly. Again, from the small business side, when I had a small business, we spent money on tchotchkes, various kinds. We used little hearts and things like that. All of those little hearts that we used to pay for, we could have made ourselves in the makerspace. We, again, bring in, what is your logo? What is your design? We run it into, one of these pieces of equipment. We can make, key rings, or we can make stickers for your windows like you have out here,
Right.
or anything in between, depending on which piece of equipment we decide to use.
Interesting. And of course, for folks who are listening this morning going, well, I don't know if I need any of that stuff, but they can come and see at the open house and the ribbon cutting on the 5th, correct? To see exactly how this all works and how it might fit into what they are currently maybe sending out of town for, or hiring someone outside of town to do.
Well, exactly. We're going to have a couple demos going during the open house. I know we're going to have one with the sewing machines. I find it fascinating that these sewing machines are run by a computer. But we've already put our logo into one of the sewing machines, and we're putting it on like T-shirts and things like that.
Sure.
The embroidered ones.
Yeah, nice.
And so we're going to have that, and we'll have the 3D printer running, and a couple other pieces of equipment, just so people can see what they look like. Because people talk about 3D printers, but a lot of people have never seen a 3D printer.
Right, and be able to see kind of what it can do. So again, this is an opportunity. It's Tuesday, February 5th, a week from tomorrow.
Week from tomorrow.
Week from tomorrow, from 3:30 to 5. You have a ribbon cutting at 4. Mm-hmm. You'll have refreshments. You said that the Board of Trustees are going to be there cutting the ribbon. So very exciting. And then for folks to use this long term, how does that work? It's available to the community, but of course we can't have some company coming in and just taking it over for a month. Right.
So basically, think of it like a gym membership. We're doing memberships.
Okay.
So you can get your membership as a community member over the HHPC, and you can come over and have one at the Big Idea.
All right.
And so we have different levels of membership depending on, if you are a San Juan College employee or student, if you are just a community member who just wants to, use it.
Right.
We have one specifically for families that, is a kind of a group one. Because, again, I can really, truly see families doing this as a project. Again, back to me and my kid, he did Pinewood Derby.
Oh, sure.
I would have loved this for Pinewood Derby.
No kidding, right?
So, things, those families, but we also have business level. So if you need to reserve X number, a couple hours a week on a machine, we're going to charge you as a business, and that's part of your business expense.
But you would have that reserved time every week to get whatever you need to get built.
If every Friday morning you need 2 hours, we'll do it under a business membership, and you will have that time.
Okay. Interesting.
So, just think memberships.
Right. And so, and again, this is not anything, you're not reinventing the wheel necessarily here. These maker spaces have been opened in other communities too, right? From the same concept, right? Same idea.
Exactly. Believe me, I'm not real original. We have been using what's called Fab Lab as a model. Fab Lab started at MIT, and Fab Lab, there are several thousand Fab Labs across the globe. It's not just an American thing.
Right.
They're all over the world. And so we have been using that as a model. So again, some of our ideas around which equipment came from that, but how they operate came a lot from Fab Lab, and then there's makerspaces that are not associated with Fab Lab also all over the world. They really started in Germany as hacker spaces. A bunch of computer geeks would get together and do hackathons and things like that. And then they wanted a 3D printer. They wanted some tools beyond the computer. So, they really started from community-based projects.
Interesting. And again, it's a whole new idea and concept of how manufacturing is changing in the world, in the country, by showing how these computers can interface with these machines and create these designs and fabricate these things, widgets, router, tables, whatever we're talking about, frames,
right,
woodwork, whatever the case may be, I suppose, right?
Exactly. Because, one of the things that has kind of been lost over the years is we don't have as much shop in high schools as we used to. And because we're all computer-based, I think we've gotten a little bit away from learning how to do things with our hands. And so this is that combination. Yes, it's definitely computer-based, advanced manufacturing, but there's also in there things like table saws, because you really need both sets of skills.
Sure. Well, and I'm thinking just about people. I used to own an old house and had really specific molding and really specific woodwork in that house, and to be able to recreate that would have been beyond my capabilities as a DIYer, which isn't much, but to be able to have something like this available to me to come in and take maybe a piece of molding that I already have and want to duplicate that or lengthen it or make another piece, this is what we're talking about. There's things like that are so unique, you can't really go out buy them off the shelf, perhaps.
Exactly, and we would have taught you how to do it, because part of this is
Thank you.
you learning how to do it yourself. Again,
but to have the tools to be able to learn how to do that and the teacher to teach me how to do it is what we're talking about.
Exactly. I've always maintained that part of the problem for people like me is I don't have the tools.
Right.
And so when you don't have the tools, you don't learn how.
Right.
And so it's that combination of the tools and the learn how.
Sure. Or you have an old clock maybe that doesn't work and the metal gear is bent or broken, there's some teeth missing, but you still have it. You could maybe fabricate something that could replace it and get the clock working again.
Exactly.
Because you can't find these things. They're 100 years old.
Well, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, really things like 3D printing and a lot of these, there's all kinds of YouTube videos showing how people have made very, very unique things. Truly, one of my favorites was when a physical therapist got together with a violin teacher and helped a little girl who was in the Suzuki class, who had lost her arm. They made a special prosthetic for this little girl where she could play her violin.
Wow.
I mean, that's
right.
unique.
And made for that individual little girl.
Exactly.
Right? So it fits perfectly, and they can redo it as she grows and keep updating it.
Yeah.
Those things are what we're talking about, everybody. Very exciting. It is the big idea. It is part of the Quality Center for Business, which, of course, is the other hat that you wear, in addition to the Enterprise Center, right?
Yeah.
And this is what you're offering. And so if folks want more information about these memberships, come to the open house, or what should they do?
Come to the open house. Drop me an email at castleberryj@sanjuancollege.edu. I'll be glad to send you a little membership packet and kind of explains this in better detail. Give me a call, 566-3699. And actually, the phone number up there would work also.
3209, 566-3209 is on the card that we're showing everybody. Yep.
Yeah. And thank you, Sean Lee Begay. I like the smiley.
Little smiley face, that's right.
But yeah, come and just look it over, and we will have a better explanation when you come in the door. And like I said on the break, when people walk in the door, they go, wow, and just come say wow. Right,
I would think so. And again, it's somewhat hard to describe on the radio. We have the visual part of it too, but until you actually see it, and I think see it working, then it can really get some of the ideas going in your head about what it can be used for your particular business or family or needs or whatever the case may be.
Exactly. You're more creative about what you need than I am.
Right, right. But if you've got some of those kids that are all about Legos or all about building things, this is something that could really push them to the next level, I would think.
Right, and we're really focusing on, mid school and up. I mean, this is quite honestly because of some safety concerns.
Sure.
This isn't a place for little kids.
Sure.
I was a mom for way too long, but it is a really good place for that mid school or older kid. I really, really wish this had existed when my son was younger.
Right, and it's only the way of the future, I think, as we move forward, as these kids, these older kids get into college and get their first jobs. I mean, they're going to be working on equipment like this and having to design what they need to design on these computer programs.
Well, exactly. That's why we're, getting software like SolidWorks and, some of the CAD design software, because the computer lab is an important part of this.
Right. And then if they know these skills here, they're competitive with all these other folks who are applying for these jobs in the future.
Exactly. Exactly. We again, everything we do here at San Juan College educates our whole community, whether we're talking the kids who are looking forward, or frankly, I keep kind of seeing retiring people going, I still want to learn a new skill. And so we are offering some things with Encore.
Right.
That, I want to learn a new skill. I don't want to be left behind. So this is truly not limited to one age group.
Sure. And again, too, before we run out of time this morning, these are things that maybe for a business that needs access to this equipment, it saves them hundreds of thousands of dollars, or I suppose of trying to buy it on their own and only use it once a week.
Well, exactly. Again, every business when they start out has to try things out. And that's what the idea is. Or even if you're a business that's been around 50 years, but you only need a widget every so often, come use our space.
There you go. This is what it's for.
That's what it's for.
All right. Again, it is the open house at the Big Idea next Tuesday, everybody, beginning at 3:30. It's a come and go, I suppose, event,
It's a
right?
come and go.
3:30 to 5. Just show up and check it out and ooh and ah at all the shiny things that will be there. And Judy will be just proud as punch to show you around and show you all the different things that you can do. So very exciting. Right here at San Juan College. It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Very interesting. All right. Judy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great to have you here.
It's always fun to be on here.
Thank you very much. Judy Castleberry from the Quality Center for Business and the Enterprise Center here at San Juan College, my guest on KSJE. Back with more in just a moment, everybody. The time right now is 8:49.